So apparently Hi-Rez has already showed off some of their designs for Hera early, but on the data mining website we also recently got some designs for Argus revealed as well, and I didn't really feel like making a super short video solely just for Hera. That would have probably been fairly short. We're just going to combine the whole characters kit because it is Hera and Argus. So beginning with Hera here, the preview for Hera shows off a lot of jewelry, a lot of the materials that will be going into the jewelry, more or less the design for the base character model, and while jewelry for the Greeks was a sign of prestige, wealth, and status among the rulers, it could act as a sort of protective thing in the minds of the Greek people, at least as a protector from evil, and was also mostly worn by women. Now at some point gold was the main material used in the crafting of a lot of jewelry. That doesn't mean that other materials weren't used as well. And over time, the Greeks progressively improved the quality of the jewelry that they were making. If you needed a testament to how great the build quality of some of these pieces of jewelry were, well, the sheer fact that some of them has survived even to this day, and you could probably most likely go to a museum and view some of these pieces of jewelry, I would think speaks volumes to how well they were made. And why are we talking about jewelry so much besides the fact that it was leaked on Hera's character? Hera really loved to wear gold specifically. Jewelry to show off how powerful and just how much you wouldn't want to mess with her, but gold. She really liked gold. Gold footwear, gold around her neck, a golden crown, or at least gold parts of her crown. You get the whole motif she was going for. Hera's appearance really wasn't something to be taken lightly, as Antigone found out when she decided to claim that her hair was even more beautiful or just in some way superior to Hera's, and then in response Hera decided to turn Antigone's hair into snakes. Fortunately for Antigone though, she was then turned into a stork, and then storks became natural predators to snakes, as far as the Greeks were concerned. I'm not sure if that really helps the situation though, especially if Antigone really knew that she was once a human and that she's now a stork, unless she was literally turned into a stork, and then lacked the self-awareness that a human would then have. Random question, if you were turned into a stork, would you want to maintain your self-awareness as a human being, or would you want to forget all of that and just live life as a stork like that? Assuming that the change into a stork, as far as you know, is permanent. Her design seems to feature these peacock-looking spots, mainly at the bottom of her skirt, and some of the jewels kind of look like they're sort of peacock spots, or, you know, as the Greeks may have thought, the eyes of peacocks themselves, which is just a nice throwback to the lore. You know, peacocks were a symbol of Hera, or a sacred animal to Hera. Now she is of course missing some things in her design, and perhaps Hi-Rez just hasn't gone around to showing this, or perhaps some of these things will be incorporated into her kit through them being part of her weapon, for instance, like a scepter, which at some part of it has lotus petals or an actual lotus attached to it somewhere. That's most likely going to be her weapon. Hi-Rez probably just hasn't gotten around to showing it yet. I mean, like with Chernobog, when they showed him off early, he had daggers in his original concept, and now in the game he just shoots his projectiles from his hands like a mage or something, even though he's a hunter. I was half expecting a peacock companion when they originally announced Hera, but I suppose that's probably not going to be a thing now, as she has an entirely different companion, but whatever. Her crown and all of the gold on her body is fine, but I think what Hi-Rez should really try to do is try to make everything a bit more shiny, a bit more obnoxious and in your face about all of her wealth and gold, because that really is the character that Hera was in a lot of the myths. But overall, her gestures that she's showing off in this preview seems to be more or less very Hera-esque. And she was also known for her beauty as well. It's one of the dangerous things you don't want to challenge her over. So yes, overall on Hera, I think they've done a pretty good job so far, and so now we're going to be moving on to Argus. And the thing with Argus's design is they've opted away from the whole more human-esque, fleshy design and gone for a more, I suppose, mechanical design is a nice way to describe it, like, very similar to Giannis. I suppose in comparison to a lot of their other options, you know, going for a very eye-intensive design where it's eyes all across the body, or literal, more human eyes across the body. Definitely a lot less of a weird design. Also, this design is better than a design covered in eyes for the fact that they've opted to give Argus here bronze coloring in his design, whereas Hera's got gold across her design. You can clearly see the difference in the power that they both have and who holds all the keys, so to speak, in their relationship, which is a very nice touch on Hera's part, I must say. Now, as for how imposing Argus is going to be, I'm not too sure. If there's going to be a size difference there's probably going to be a height difference between him and Argus, but like with most characters in Smite, it probably won't look that extreme. Another nice touch that they have with his design is the fact that he's got multiple faces, going off of the part of the lore that says that he's never got all of his eyes closed at the very same time. At least he'll have some of his eyes opened and some of them closed for sleep or for whatever other purpose he may need to close his eyes for. But considering the fact that he's a stone being, then I suppose he never needs to close his eyes in this case. And with that was the video on Argus's and Hera's leaked designs. Hope you enjoyed them, and I get that it might be a touch late, but is what it is. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more stuff like this, well, go ahead and leave a like, and of course, subscribe to the channel. What do you actually think of Argus and Hera's designs? Do you like them? Do you think they're a bit too, well, out there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but until then, I've been Prime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.